Hi, I'm Sharon Bolman, professor at UAT, and today we're going to talk about body language during public speaking. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. So, number one, don't wear a hat. Puts your eyes in shadow. You look untrustworthy. You look like you're hiding something. So, plus the hats are always distracting, so lose the hat. All right, so now that we know that you're not supposed to wear a hat, first thing that you do is find an outfit that actually feels comfortable and that you look good in. So make sure when you're at home you try the clothes on that you're going to use when you give your speech, and make sure that you feel okay in them. Same goes for an interview. If you're dressing up in something that you haven't worn for a long time, make sure you put it on, that you can sit down comfortably, stand up comfortably, not fidget. If you start pulling on your clothes, doing silly things, never ever ever retuck in your shirt, things like that, people are going to notice and it's not going to look confident. So try on whatever it is you're going to wear and feel comfortable in it. Practice your speech in it. Okay, once you get to the space where you're going to give your speech, just look at it. Get the lay of the land. Know where you're going to be standing. Look for obstacles. See if there's anything that you might trip over if you're looking at your audience. And just know where those are. Then relax yourself. So, number one thing to do, deep breath. Just take a nice deep breath in and out through the nose a couple of times. Completely release all of that tension out. Then release your jaw. We'll hold a lot of tension in our jaw. Just give yourself a little jaw massage. Make sure your jaw is loose. When your jaw is loose, you project better and you sound more confident. Speaking of confident, standing up straight makes you look more confident. So the best way to get that natural stance is to raise your hands up over your head, and look up through your hands, and then drop your arms down by your sides. This is your natural stance. This is you standing up straight. This is where you need to be. Make sure you're all adjusted. Roll your shoulders a few times. Feel relaxed. Once you actually get onto stage, relax your shoulders again. That little bit of movement coming from off stage to on stage, you're going to tense up. Just relax your shoulders. Make sure you're standing up nice and tall. Next thing you do, make eye contact with your audience. They're out there. They want to hear you. They're listening to you. So make sure you look at them. Include them in whatever it is that you're doing. Okay? Next thing that you're going to do is you suddenly become aware that you have arms, when the rest of the day your arms are actually fine and you never think about them. So what happens to a lot of people is they go into T-Rex mode. You just have these goofy little hands just hanging out oddly. Any gesture that you make from here looks really silly and nobody's going to take you seriously. So relax the arms down by the sides. Another nervous tic people do is they will have their arms go in circles to get their brain going. Again, just relax that hand down by the sides. If you do enough rehearsals, it will feel natural to have them down there. So rehearsing is always important. So what kind of gestures do you want to make? You want to make gestures that support what it is that you're saying. So first kind of thing that you can do is you can offer the audience something. I'm going to give you this bit of information, and I'm also just going to talk about some other kinds of gestures you can make. So you have two choices. You can use a contrast and comparison. You can offer one thing with both hands if it's particularly weighty and important. So the offer is a really nice gesture that you can make. Other gestures that you can make emphasize whatever it is that you're saying. So if something is 4 times faster than its previous model, go ahead and say it's 4 times faster. If profits are going up, have profits go up with an upward move. Have profits go up with an upward motion. What doesn't work is if you say profits are going up. Your gesture should match whatever the word is that you're saying. A really powerful gesture is a downward chop. And you can do this to emphasize a really important point. We want to bring this home. So calling attention to it by framing it. And you can make a bigger point or a smaller point, or a one-handed point, but this is a point. Now you'll notice with all of these gestures, I'm using my full hand or I'm pointing my fingers up in some way. A very aggressive gesture that you never want to use is to point at your audience. People don't like to be pointed at. It's rude and aggressive. So you can say one thing, but especially don't say, you did this. So you never want to point at your audience. If you want to include your audience, always include them with an open, upward-facing palm. Bring them to you. Other things that you want to avoid, touching your face. A lot of times people think, and when you touch your face, we can't hear what you're saying. Also, it's just distracting. Playing with your hair, very distracting. Fiddling with jewelry, again, adjusting or fidgeting with your clothes, all those things are very distracting. So you want to just relax the arms down by the sides. Finally, we're going to talk about movement. So, can you move your feet while you're up giving a speech? And the answer is of course. If it's natural to do so, go ahead, take a little stroll. Sometimes it will help the audience focus on you a little better. You can emphasize your point if it's a point in the speech where it's a little more casual, where you're just telling stories. A little bit of pacing works very, very well. And then when you come to a point that's very powerful, you can stop. Emphasize that with both stopping the motion and doing the chop. Things that don't work, swaying, especially this kind of swaying, never works. Rocking back and forth, very distracting. People don't often realize they're doing it. And invariably, when you're rocking back and forth, you're looking up instead of making eye contact with your audience. They're there to listen to you. Let them see you. Another one is dancing the feet back and forth. It's just random, it's distracting, it doesn't help. So, those things you want to try to avoid. A little bit of pacing works very nicely. So the three things that I would like for you to take away from this. Number one is preparation. Find clothes that you're comfortable in, rehearse in them. Rehearsing is really important. Number two, gestures. Offering something, offering two things. Gestures that reflect your point. This is my second point. And finally, the downward chop to emphasize a big point. Third thing, feet. A little bit of pacing, very nice. Avoid rocking, avoid swaying. If you can take away these 3 points, I guarantee you, your speech and you will be great. Thank you.